The human population is projected to reach 7 billion by the end of this year and is estimated to reach nearly 9.2 billion by the year 2050.
Starting from today and over the next few days, News First will be taking a look at several key issues that the world is facing and will have to face due to the population growth.
News First Zulfiq Farzan and Dharani Herat filed this report on population growth and climate change.
Human population growth is a major factor towards global warming, given that humans use fossil fuels to power their mechanized lifestyles. More people on Earth means that more demand for oil, gas, coal and other fuels mined from below the Earth's surface. According to the United Nations Population Fund, the human population grew from 1.6 billion to 6.1 billion people during the course of the 20th century. It is really hard to imagine that when it took all of time for the population to reach 1.6 billion, it just took only 100 years for it to shoot up to 6.1 billion. The majority of the future population growth is likely to occur in areas of the world that are already beginning to experience climate change impacts, and this growth is likely to be concentrated in areas and among populations, poor, urban and coastal, that are already highly vulnerable to climate change impacts. In addition, population trends are intimately connected to the growth of greenhouse gases that cause climate change, resulting in many natural catastrophes. Climate change is indeed something that has to be dealt with before its consequences turn a severe side. Combating climate change calls for the spirit of environmental stewardship and international cooperation on a range of emission reduction and adaptation approaches that will benefit not only the present but future populations as well, be it household, food or anything else that plays a major role to sustain population and see its future. Climate change is one of the major challenges faced by humanity in the 21st century. The consequences of climate change, typhoons, hurricanes, rising sea levels and even volcano eruptions will not only affect the present population but the future populations as well if these matters are not addressed methodically. I'm Zulfiq Farzan for News First.
The JVP has questioned whether the government is using the arsenic issue as a trump card to curtail the fertilizer concession given to farmers. JVP's former parliamentarian S.K. Subasinghe made this observation at a media briefing held today.
This government, which enjoys a two-third majority, this government, which acts in an arbitrary manner, this daytime Miguel, nighttime Daniel government has now started to cut the fertilizer subsidy. After cutting down the 350 rupee fertilizer concession, they have asked the farmers to obtain the rest of the requirement from the market. They have issued fertilizer to the market at 1,200 rupees. At present, there is talk in the farmlands that the arsenic issued was hyped up by the government to be used as an excuse to curtail the fertilizer concession. The land of the country, the valuable land that belongs to the farmers of this country, is being sold to multinational companies at giveaway prices. They are being sold at the guise of various patriotic development ventures. This is an advertisement published by the Ministry of Basil Rajapaksa, which invites companies to purchase the land of the country. These advertisements were published in the papers a few months back. There are over 100,000 acres in this. There is more. In the circumstances, we would like to know how is it that the person who claims to be only the caretaker of the country and not the owner engage in selling all these lands.
Now, CropLife Sri Lanka states that no company has imported pesticides consisting of arsenic as an active substance to Sri Lanka as per the ban imposed on importing such pesticides. Chairman of CropLife Sri Lanka and Pesticide Importers Association, Rohit Nanayakara, made the statement at a media briefing held today.
We clearly state that a ban has been imposed through a Gazette notification on the importing of pesticides which may consist of arsenic as an active substance. Therefore, up to now, no company in Sri Lanka has imported pesticides which consist of arsenic as an active substance. if international organizations are to be informed about this and if they are to conduct an inquiry, then during any inquiry or test, the results of the tests and the procedure of the tests are communicated. But we have not been informed officially, although we made a request. Furthermore, as far as we know and from what they have told the media, it is evident that they have not concluded this inquiry as yet.
The Election Secretariat says that all preparations have been made for tomorrow's postal voting for the local government election. The number of state workers who are eligible to cast their postal vote stands at close to 59,000. Postal voting for 66 local government bodies is scheduled to be held tomorrow. Additional Elections Commissioner W.P. Sumanisi said that postal voting centres have been set up in various state institutions, including divisional secretariats and police stations, for voters to cast their ballot. He went on to say that special officers will be deployed to postal voting centres where discrepancies are likely to occur. Additional Commissioner of Elections W.P. Sumanasi noted that sealed packets of ballot papers have now been transported to the relevant postal voting centres. He added that election officials have been advised to commence postal voting from 8:30 a.m. onwards.
General Secretary of the United People's Freedom Alliance, Minister Susil Premajayantha, says that all facilities have been provided to conduct a free and fair election for 65 local government bodies. The minister made this observation at a media briefing held today.
Any citizen who visits the Jaffna Peninsula has the freedom to engage in any activity independently. We saw posters of those who are engaging in politics, displaying their preferential numbers and party logos. To be frank, the environment in the Jaffna Peninsula is more peaceful than in the south. I would clearly state that the law enforcement authorities have created an environment where anyone or any political party can carry out political activities in the Jaffna Peninsula. United National Party National Organizer Parliamentarian Ravi Karunanayake says that the only party that can save the country from its present predicament is the UNP. The parliamentarian made this observation while addressing a meeting in the Urapole area in Athanagalla yesterday.
This meeting was organised in support of UNP candidates contesting the Athanagalla Pradesh Sabha. Many say that the government cannot be toppled with this small election. We don't have to be told this, we know it. But with your valuable vote, we will definitely be able to shake the government, if not topple it. We will start it on the 23rd of July. At a time when the youth believe that there is no future for them, when ordinary people believe that there is no point in living in this country, when small Sri Lanka is moving away from among the respected countries in the world, everyone must think about the party that can save this country. The development of the country does not mean the development of one particular family. Therefore, there is a pressing need for economic development in the country. The only thing that this government did was to make rogues out of the Pradesh Sabha members by deciding to put concrete all over the place. Earlier, Pradesh Sabha candidates used bicycles or motorcycles. But today there are about 10 to 15 vehicles used by a single candidate in their election campaign. A Pradesh Sabha member receives a salary of 5,000 rupees. From where does the money come from to purchase so many vehicles? It is in order to put an end to this corruption that we request you to vote for the UNP on the 23rd.
Yet another phase of the Sasanota Arun initiative, which is carried out under the patronage of the co-deputy leader of the United National Party, Sajith Premadasa, was held in Yatinawara yesterday. A financial donation was provided for the renovation of the Gatatale Sri Samavardhanarama Vihara in Kobbekaduwa, Yatinawara. Incidentally, this was the 97th Sasanota Aruna program.
Our hope is to distribute the resources which are limited only to a certain group of henchmen. I would like to say that the Premadasa era of development where prosperity will reach every member of every family in the country is not far away.
Meanwhile, the 98th program of the Sasanota Aruna initiative got underway at the Siambalape Sri Vivekarama Vihara in Dantore, Yatinawara last afternoon.